So this one is about the hang up, a little bit of what Reza Aslan talked about in one of the previous chapters of, this idea of a unified essence of existence versus the idea of an embodied God separate from creation. And this is something that has sort of broader appeal, or should I say it makes people question and makes people wonder, and it can cause people some hangups. And so the point of this chapter is to really focus on what is what is core and what is real and what is true, um, and what we have to sort of accept based on what we see and what we directly know. And I think um, through that, everything that's retained is really, I don't know if I could say really all you need, but it's most of what you need. And so in that vein, this chapter presents the idea of the creator, a creator being this, definitively separate being with particular bounds, sitting in whatever, a particular chair somewhere outside creation, whatever that means. Already the language is part of the problem because we're talking about um, infinity beyond infinity and also involved within creations. Anyhow, outside of time and all that. So the point is holding on super tightly to the idea of an old grandfather sitting in the sky, even if it's not the physical sky, it's the spiritual sky, whatever you want to say. Uh, this is something that causes problems on both ends, both of the people who really want it to, are really wed to that image, and then the people who find it troublesome run up against those people and they both push against each other. It's like so the point of the chapter is relax about that. You know, if you have gratitude and wonder and joy at the miracle of being, then you're probably okay with God. Like, I can't really speak for God, but like, if you are grateful for his creation, let's just say we believe in this external creator. If you're grateful for his creation and you're trying to do good and be joyous within it and bring peace to the world and all that, then cool. Like you're working with God. So if you, let's just say, so if you don't have that view of an external guy sitting out there, I don't think that's actually a big problem. It's a big problem when it goes hand in hand with, oh, there's no creator God, therefore all these negative conclusions that follow. But the whole book has been trying to not argue from authority, not say, oh, the big guy sitting in the throne told me that you have to abide by these things, but looking at sort of a natural law perspective and what we can discern based on our own senses and say, there is purpose in form, there is purpose in my life, and that is evident, and that carries with it a whole bunch of perspectives and directives. And so I think having all of that, it kind of makes this debate about the image a little bit superfluous. So anyhow, there's a quote here um, that I have actually from the Gospel of Thomas, but I think it's a good quote, and it I think encapsulates what I was sort of going for. So it starts off, Yeshua said, "If flesh came into being because of spirit, it is a wonder. But if spirit came into being because of flesh, it is a wonder of wonders. Yet the greatest of wonders is this: how is this being, capital B, being, how is this being which is, sorry, I misread that. How is it that this being which is inhabits this nothingness?" The being is capital and the is also capitalized there. So the idea of the sort of traditional idea of, well, there was spirit and that created the material. That's wonderful. That's miraculous. But the whole point of this is the depth of wonder that you don't actually have to lose. And so the other side is if spirit came into being because of flesh, that's the sort of the idea of the modernists that all of our mental processes are epiphenomena that come after the evolution of the physical bodies. Well, okay, but if you comprehend and understand the reality of that mental world and how alive and real it is, if that came into being because of materiality, that's just an even bigger miracle. That's crazy wondrous. And then it says this ultimate wonder is just that there is being, that existence exists, that being shines forth. It is, capital S is how it puts it there, uh, inhabiting this nothingness. In the midst of nothing, in the midst of infinity, where for all we know, there nothing ever had to exist. Existence exists. And that's, I think knowing that is the absolute depths of wonder. And so wonder can underlie everything. And as long as we're on the side of that wonder and gratitude, thankfulness um, and blessedness, then that's where we want to be.